All right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. We'll go. Hey, MC Lit. Good morning, good afternoon, sister. Think Tank, what's going on, brother? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'll make sure he was in there.
Yeah, he in there.
I see Rick calling him.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't answering that shit. Now you probably want some. Oh. Man, that dog in there?
No, that's the refrigerator.
Yeah, I ain't trying to hear that shit. You ain't been calling.
Okay. Shadow Assassin, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Cap PY2? Yes, sir. Okay, all everybody up in the house. So Think Tank, MC Lit, I'm just gonna do it for you. I'm gonna make y'all a mod. So that way we can keep the trolls up out of here, you know. Think Tank, you always been there, so you know. So now y'all mod too. Yeah, so Monday Mash, man. Let's talk. Let's talk family. Let's talk. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of things have been going on. It's a lot that's been like on my mind as of late too. A lot more. Mostly what I got in the description is I'm gonna save the first one, the best death for last, but let me get some more closer to home. Remember the story that I did about the brother who was murdered in a scalding hot shower down here in the Miami-Dade correctional facility down right here in my backyard in Miami. Darren Rainey, who was a schizophrenic, and the COs killed him by leaving the scalding hot water shower on with hot water scalding at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and he died. And the state attorney, Miami-Dade state attorney, if you want to call that bitch that, Catherine Fernandez Rundle, who I believe is a tranny anyway, you know, basically covered it up because throughout the history, y'all don't know this heifer like I know. She's never prosecuted anybody, none of these policy enforcers or COs for that matter. No, they killed the brother up in there and she covered it up. Now keep in mind, Lance Saddam, what's up, brother? What's going on? Just tuning in? No problem. Just getting. Well, now is an update. I've been on top of the story. Well, now the state of Florida has now agreed to settle the lawsuit that the Rainey family have against the Miami-Dade Correctional Facility, that private corporation that runs that prison, and they're gonna award them. I think it's gonna be 6.5 million or something like that. But okay, this is nothing new. But now I feel like this. We got to get Catherine Fernandez Run to get her ass the fuck up out of here. So this is due to people like in my backyard here. Because first of all, number one, the bitch is in her 50s. Her being so-called Cuban American, which she ain't really American. She ain't even born here. Number one. Well, yes she is. I'm sorry. Yes she is. And on top of that, worse, she's a freaking Democrat. So that just goes to show you how I feel about them. Because y'all don't know, everybody in the chat room already know that that first of all, the Democrats ain't never did shit for black people. They ain't never did nothing for us as a people. Okay, same like the Republican. Whether it's left wing, right wing, both of them are trash. Because I never seen a bird flying with one wing nor a plane.
But they in that shit, they go head down now.
So that there, I'm like I said, I'm still telling the story because a lot of things going on in my backyard, and one of the things, like I said, I'm never too big a fan of watching the like TV reality shows, but Love and Hip Hop in Miami, I'm definitely tuned into that because not besides the fact that it is in my own backyard, but I'm just gonna get it out of the way right now. But I do have a a sort of love Jones for Amara Le Negra, and I am not going to lie. That is pure beauty right there. If that's not the form of a goddess, I don't know what is. That's something there that no European woman can never pull off what she's got. And like I said, the whole Amara Lake thing, like my biggest problem with was that was how she was um kind of brushed off on the show The Breakfast Coons. I mean the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the Coon God and and hoe ass DJ Envy. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about DJ Envy. DJ Envy, a lot of people don't know this, but that fool left. He supported the stop and frisk measures that was going on in the Empire Corporation of New York City by the policy enforcers of the NYPD. And DJ Envy supported that. He supported the fact that it was all right for people of indigenous origin. I'm talking about, you know, me and you, me and you know, blacks and and quote unquote Latinos. Um, don't mind them getting roughed up. You know, Boricans getting roughed up. Dominicanas getting roughed up. Just if they just walk into the store, minding they ain't bothering nobody. And DJ Envy supports that. Why? Is it besides the fact of the matter that he lives in a gated community? And to me, I'm gonna tell you right now, me being from Miami, he was be the type of bitch. He type of bitch made punk. I just will walk right up on him and I just go ahead and crack his jaw, his whole jawline. I would throw his hairline back. I would fade him, real tall, twat waffle. Yeah, he is a waffle colored coon. You know what I'm saying? But none is as worse as Charlemagne though, because I've been watching Charlemagne like for past year and 3 months, and in case y'all haven't seen it as of late, it's not a rumor, it's actual fact that this nigga here is out here bleaching his skin. You know, he's out here bleaching his skin in more than one way that I can even imagine. If I was in New York, Intellect 123, if I would be in New York, I said if he was here in Miami, if he was here in Miami. Sister Wiseman, what's going on? Shadow Assassin? Yeah, brought to you by the Conscious Community Convo. Think Tank, yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, I've always expected him to be a double agent. Charlemagne has always played both sides of the fence. One minute he's getting out here, you want to throw up the fist, you know, to talking about you support Colin Kaepernick, and wailing off on Jason the Manatee Whitlock, which I had no problem with. But I never took my eye off of him because I never was part of Team Charlemagne. Never was, never will be. Because I already know this dude was suspect. You know, because think about it. Now, when that interview like this, like when Amara Le Negra was basically spitting facts, excuse me, was basically spitting facts about the colorism issue. Yeah, that's true intellect. Yeah, he tries to trigger people though, you know. But at the same time, you know what? My job to do as well is go ahead and call this fool out for what he truly is. You know, I mean, let me go. I'm gonna just go by his government name. Just let's just refer to him as Leonard McKelvey. So you know, so that's yeah. I seen the Amara La Negra interview. Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. And Amara was spitting facts. She was spitting facts, man. You know what I'm saying about the color, about colorism. You know what I'm saying? Not just here in the corporation known as United States, but also in indigenous countries too, Central and South America and the adjoining islands. Yes. Well, intellect. First of all, number one, I don't even watch the Breakfast Club. Okay, let's just get that out the way. Get that out the way now. Okay, that's another thing like this. That was heard by little snippets and stuff that I heard. And plus, on top of that, don't need to watch it when you somebody already gonna go ahead and put it up on YouTube. You know, so you know, get that. Let's just get that out the way. Because trust me, I'm saying if I didn't talk about it, if I didn't talk about it, I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't know anything about it. Of course, anybody knows entertainment value. Sure. Ain't nobody everybody here in this chat room right now happens to be an intellectual thinker. More importantly, a critical thinker. So that's another thing with that. But see, it also come down to discipline too. You worrying about dynamics, saying I wouldn't read too deeply into it. Well, sure, of course I got to read deeply into it because that's where you get a better understanding of things. Anyway, let me go back and continue. You know what I'm saying? But what pissed me off, like, you know, when Charlemagne gets out here saying that you sure this ain't all in your head. Basically, you're trying to insult the sister's intelligence when it's actual when it's really factual. I've seen it myself. Me being here, living here, born and raised here in Miami, I see it here all the time. When you think about Miami, everybody want to talk about South Beach, Club Live, this sort of thing, the Miami Dolphins, the hurricanes, the heat, that's all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing when it comes down to it. And plus, on top of that, I interact with a lot of people like basically from the Americas. And in case anybody doesn't know, when I say the Americas and the adjoining islands, all them part of America too, of North America as well. You know, like with the Bahamas, with Cuba, with Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic. That's where Amara is from. Puerto Rico or Puerto Rico or Boricua, Anguilla, U.S. Virgin Islands, Trinidad, Tobago, Barbados, Dominica. I could go on and on. I could go on and on. And on top of that, yeah. Now he brings up the fact about Cardi B. Okay, you ever wonder like with Cardi B? I know exactly what you're saying, intellect. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. So I'm saying it ain't like I'm new to this or something like that. I know exactly what you're saying. So there's no need for you to explain that. I totally get what you're saying. I'm not new to this. So that's another thing like that. I know exactly what you're saying. Of course, it's a ploy to get it to talk about him and talk about the show. But you know what? Those swing both ways. You know. So I'm saying like this, and see, a lot of our people don't even know, because like a lot of my subs that you see here right now know like this, and anything that I post or anything on my Instagram or on Black Spot or Black Junction, anything I post, anything I talk about on my videos on YouTube or whatever, it's something about to use that to be critical thinkers. Everybody in this chat room can think for themselves. It's not about keeping somebody relevant. I could personally care less about Leonard McKelvey, to be honest with you. But one thing do stand out. You know, he's a coon. He's a coon. He's a coon playing both sides of the fence, and he's ended up getting caught. You know. But see, he'll go ahead and he'll buck dance for Tommy Lauren or something like that, because the fact of the matter, because what triggered Charlemagne in regards to what Amara was saying, because that made him feel small. You know what I'm saying? Make him feel small, because like I said, it goes back to what I said. He started going ahead and bleaching his skin with that cream. Yeah, he should just blackball him. Don't even mention the dude. He is a troll. Yeah, he's a troll. He be what he want to be. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to our people, you know, people who still insist on calling themselves Negro, colors, and blacks, or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And it comes down to it, you got to speak on it. Although I'm not saying I disagree with you. Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, shoot, you know, you're not going to get out here and disrespect system. Let me go ahead and get what I was going to get to saying, because I think that struck a nerve. And Diva Queen Lopez, peace, sister, peace. Shoot, that's one of my main ones right there. Okay, I got a couple of the sisters in here. You know what I'm saying, like that. I take Diva Queen Lopez, for instance. She's Panamanian, you know, or what you would refer to as by the establishment wants to label as a Afro-Latina. And LaShawn is here too. Okay, no problem. You know, Victor, what's going on? I see everybody coming through. The topic, we just bring you up to speed, Diva Queen Lopez. I just reported about the situation I stayed on top about with Darren Rainey. You know, the inmate that was murdered in the shower by COs who left the shower on hot water on balls in hot water at 180 degrees, and the family now, the state of Florida agreed to settle, to pay the family of him the $6.5 million or something like that. And now I'm on to Amara Le Negra, and like how she was mistreated over there on the Breakfast Club, particularly by Charlemagne the Coon God and Ho J Envy. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing like with that. And I said, since you here now, so you could possibly relate, because you know you being sended. Yeah, they did all that, Victor. Yeah. You from there, you being background being Panamanian, you know how that go, because the whole colorism thing that is going on. You look at over there, like in Latin American countries, like in South America country, which is southwest of Mexico, like you look in Brazil right now. You know what I'm saying? You look at Brazil right now. You got You got black Brazilians out there getting knocked off 3 times worse than our brothers and sisters got here in the streets being murdered by these policy enforcers / highwaymen that you call police officers or law enforcement, which they're really not. You know, and Amara was kicking some facts, and Charlemagne was just he like a little moist bitch with his sugar thongs on, you know, because you up here bleaching your skin and try to use reverse psychology, saying like, oh, it's all in her head, and then had the nerve to go bring up Cardi B, because Cardi B, her being like, you know, lighter tone, you know, her being Dominican and you know, father's Trinidadian, you know. Yeah, exactly. Think tank. That's what he was trying to do. He tried to pull a Tim Wise on that sister. But see, here's the thing with Amara Le Negra. She wasn't going for that. The chick ain't dumb. The sister ain't dumb. That's true, Victor. And Victor, you up in Toronto, so you know how that go. You know how that go. But I agree with Intellect 123 though. Yeah, you know, I don't really try to acknowledge Charlemagne because I know he's a clown or whatever like this. But when it comes to something like that or that particular topic, I have to speak on that. And I think that's something that seriously need to speak on that too. I think I did a video about a few months ago regarding the colorism thing. You know, now because like I say, I got this over there on Hangouts. If not though, sure, you probably want to call in or whatever and get y'all opinions on it about what it's supposed to be. See, exactly. See, it's rampant among so-called Latinos. And let me explain something to you. Rosie Perez said this a while back too. I don't know if anybody remembered the scene where that queer-looking host of that Spanish talk show was with the makeup person, and he made a comment regarding Michelle Obama as looking like an ape. And that kind of had Rosie Perez upset when she was there on The View and stuff. And see, Rosie Perez came straight out and said that. Shout out to Rosie Perez. You know, they said this is the biggest little secret in the Latin community, because see, a lot of people being of Latin descent do not never want to acknowledge their African African bloodline. And which is true. Now, I posted a picture on my Instagram page, username Archangel99, and you see that. Remember, I always talked about saying that the Earth was like one huge landmass, a supercontinent. Okay, look what's Central and South America and the adjoining islands, as well as North America, were positioned at before you had the Great Divide of the Continents, which created the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and all that. The Americas were part of Africa. So that picture right there kind of shut up a lot of people, particularly people like in the so-called conscious community that want to prep their RBG stuff. And I see that, you know, talking about saying you want to go back to Africa, quoting Marcus Garvey, when Marcus Garvey never was about that. Marcus Garvey was really about nationalism and stuff. You know, why talking about go back to Africa? Go back to Africa for what? You already here. North America is part of Northwestern Mexico, North Africa. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about saying that the United States is a country, and it's not. It's a corporation. The United States doesn't have a geographical landmass. This is North America. Canada is involved in Canada, all Mexico, all that. And like I said, me being here in Miami, we got a whole, I ain't gonna say a whole slew, like a whole lot of people of different nationalities from Latin American countries. Preferably, y'all know dominant is Cubans, and you got Puerto Ricans, because I'm not too far from over in the Wynwood area, which is predominantly Puerto Rican and Dominican. I got no problem with over there. Shoot, shoot. Wynwood, Atapata, which is predominantly Puerto Rican. Um, Shoot, you got people Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, um, Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, you know, Chile. I can go on and on, you know. And yes, even Mexico, even the Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama, Belize. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing about that. And Amara was bringing facts up because you got some of them like that. I don't know if y'all saw the episode on Love and Hip Hop Miami. I was just looking at a snippet of it before I did the live stream. Her so-called best friend wanted like I would say a white Latina. Let's just keep it like that. You know, some of them get out here. They want to try to fit in into the Eurocentric culture. Want to be European so bad they go so far as to dyeing their hair blonde or changing their jawline or getting their nose straight. They don't. They too ashamed and not proud of having that Afrocentric features and stuff like that per se. So we just gonna keep it like that, you know. And they want to try to fit into something. J Dog, what's up, brother? What's going on? Right, right, Diva Queen Lopez. Yeah, they were called Negro while growing up. Because see, and on top of that, I hope our Afro-Mexican brothers and sisters then fall for like accepting that term Negro, because you know Negro has no standing in law or nothing like that. Okay, Sister Lopez, though, no problem. Oh shoot, I might go ahead and yeah, LaShawn, they got to wake up because the titles that they were given, like Cuban, Puerto Rican, and all the Dominican and all that, those were brands given to them by nothing but racist Caucasians to keep them further subjugated. No different than it is um they gave black people the term black, Negro, colored, African American, saying that our lives, we came over here in this country via slave ships and all that, and then want to talk about the transatlantic slave trade and all this stuff. You know, people like, because you know they let white supremacists like Charles Darwin and a few other people that I can't call right now. I was just researching them. I'm sorry. Um, Talk all that stuff, you know, and then lie about the evolution, saying that we came from monkeys, blah blah blah, like that. But nowadays, thanks to the internet, thanks to social media, I know, Victor. Always some troll. Tomorrow just stop whining because then you all complain about Hispanic supremacy. First thing first, number one, Hispanic is not a race. That's an ethnicity. Okay, that shows the ignorance in them. But you know, that's that high IQ coming from these, and I hate to say white, these European trailer trolls. That's done with that. So I wouldn't even worry about him. But I know Black Reality TV. I know he shut him up real good though. So that's the thing. That's the thing about with that. You know, MC Lit. Yeah, I don't like I was telling Intellect 123. I don't listen to the Breakfast Club either. It just so happened that I happened to come across that, and I heard about it. And then like on Love and Hip Hop in Miami, Like when I saw the first episode with Amara on there, when she was going to meet meet that producer, so-called producer, which I, call herself Young Hollywood. But Victor, a lot of these trolls, yeah, they cowards. They're not going to show their face, and then on top of that, they're not going to make videos either. They just want to make a troll account so that way they can get in here and go ahead and troll and see like what we is talking about as the indigenous peoples, a family like that. Because it's like this, out of spite, it's out of jealousy. See, they don't hate us because of complexion. They hate us because the fact of the matter that we can survive out here in the sun and they can't. Yeah, but Sister Wiseman, yeah, this dude here, he had a problem like with us saying like 1 minute that he digging the fro, but he wanted somebody that's a little more like Beyonce and a lot less Macy Gray. And see, it goes back with the whole, like I say, it goes back. Craig J, what's up, bro? It goes back with the whole colorism thing. It goes back with the whole perpetuating stereotype thing. So now, why does she have to go ahead and try to which I'm glad she doesn't do. And this is the whole thing. Us as indigenous peoples, we ain't got to go ahead and change our hairstyle or change our culture and all that just to make somebody who is less inferior than us genetically or whatever to genetically to conform to make them feel comfortable. But at the same time, these same crackers want to get out here. They want to rock afros. They want to rock braids or cornrows. They want to rock locks and all this other stuff. Then it's got some of them that want to rock turbans, stuff like this, and want to wear the clothes of Indian. When I say Indian, I mean reference to India, to the people, to the brothers and sisters of India, And Shadow Assassin, you're right. Darwinism is pure fuckery. Because you know why? Charles Darwin, let me jump on that for a second, is pure racist because you know what? The more he discovered, he knew that where he came from. So he put this pseudo theory out and try to turn around and flip it. M. Mitchell, that's her name. NC Lit. That's the one that got like a gold tooth at the bottom of her mouth and got her hair blonde and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna check. I'm definitely gonna check that. But back to what I was saying though. But like I say, it's like pure rampant with that. And see, with Young Hollywood, let me tell you something about this little punk. Okay, you look at him real good. He could tell he got Taino in him. So therefore, saying like that, you got an indigenous bloodline in you. So, but at the same time, he's also trying to pass for, he's just basically a little a punk little racist himself, to be honest with you. And see, that goes to further prove right there that how the colorism runs rampant among in the Latino community, particularly in the Latino countries and stuff like that. You got Afro Latinos who basically my complexion, your complexion or whatever get treated a lot more different. But yet though they'll big up somebody like Cardi B, and Cardi B, the only reason that she's getting all the doors open for her is because of her complexion. Although she does talk about it herself too. But she getting a lot more doors open to her because I just saw a snippet of her on Instagram of her being at the Grammys. And she wearing some little stupid ass dress or something like that. It looked like that should go Wow. Really, Victor. Well, I hope you stood up against those clowns during your bullying days, man. I know what it's like. I've been there. And Sister Wild, no, ain't nothing wrong with identifying as black and Afro Latino because guess what? We we all is part of the same family. Because plain and simple, we all family. It doesn't matter. It's like, look, when a cat has kittens, all of them ain't gonna be the same. Ain't gonna be the same color pattern. Well, I hate to say color, but they're not gonna have the same likeness. They're not gonna be the same color. But yeah, same color. Let's just put it that way. Exactly, lady. I mean, this is all this goes right all back to, like I said, like with us with the Moors. When the Moors came up into Italy and they came up into Spain and 711 and they civilized the Europeans and stuff and showed them everything from architecture to building to um, mathematics to science and study the stars, seasoning their foods, and going ahead and teaching them hygienes, how to fix their hair, wash their ass, doing all this type of stuff. Because they went over there and they civilized the European, even though in Spain too. But also at the same time, lighter skin trending. See, see, Victor, know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's that's what I'm talking about. I understand. I understand. So therefore, but and this is I'm gonna tell you something. What was the downfall for us over there? Why from 711 to 1492? Because see, like some Moors also had integrated with a lot of the European women and stuff. In Spain and in Italy too. And in 1492, when the Moors were expelled from there, we also controlled like the Barbary coasts and stuff too. And that's what you got. You watch Pirates of the Caribbean, you'll see what I'm talking about with that. You know, the Europeans had to pay a tax, British had to pay a tax to come through there in order to sail through our seas and stuff. Okay, J Dog. Okay, and yeah, we'll spread the word about Black Lightning. And see, that's what downfall because it's like what it say, like in the Silver Seven, like we failed because on top of that, because we didn't honor the creed and principle of our mother and father. Instead, we wanted to go ahead and chase after the pale skinned nations of Europe. We didn't know what nothing of, and that's why the title of the Moors was taken from us. And then they turned in 1774 and then labeled us with the terms Negro, coloreds, and blacks. And a lot of that is the same thing over there because what do you see like over there in the adjoining islands that I mentioned? They're Moors too. But with the island going to Puerto Rico is really named as Borica or Borican, Moreno, Moros, Moros, Moro, Moreno. They're Moors too. And it's just like I said, like with cat theory, you got Puerto Ricans that look like me. You know, Amara Le Negra, she's Dominican. So therefore, like I said, she same as me. So that's that's the same thing with Mexicans, same thing with Costa Rican, with Panamanian, and all down to the Americas, down to South America as well, because all of them got Africans, like with Cuban. The Cuban bloodline is Spanish and African. Yeah, Victor, exactly. Yeah, they are dark skinned Egyptians and Moroccans with curly hair. The reason they get insulted if they refer to black people, because reason why it goes back to, like I've been saying a lot, black is not considered a nationality. Okay, black is not considered a nationality. Now, if you want to look at it as an adjective, so adjective can't be a noun. And then on top of that, if you go back on the etymology, which is the deciphering, decoding the words, and you break down the term black, which is a 500-year-old Germanic term, and you break it down to black, Blake, which is spelled BLACE or EC. I'm sorry, EC. They just replaced the C and the K with the E and the C, and black, BLAC. Black really means pale. So it's like, and for instance, like when James Brown came out with the song "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud," you basically giving energy to European, because you basically saying you pale, and that's like, in other words, it's like saying, say it loud, you pale and you proud. Because like I said, and see, like that, yeah, because they say they're Egyptian, they're Moroccan. Yeah, of course. And Moroccans don't even, they don't like that. They don't like that. Because over here in North America, this is Morocco. This is northwest of Mexico, northwest North Africa. See, the thing about it, like I say, you had racist Caucasians like Charles Darwin. I wish I could bring up these other guys, who basically did reverse education, that basically to keep us subjugated, to keep us down, to keep us under control. So therefore they won't want us to know, to find out who we truly are. But now a lot of that has changed. And on top of that, we're in the age of Aquarius. So everything is starting to come forth about that. And yes, Christianity had a lot to do with that too. Sister Wiseman, exactly. Because the origin of Christianity, that started in Rome, and you can thank Constantine for that, the Grand Emperor at that time. Now, this ain't an attack on nobody's religious belief or faith or whatever. Nice. I'm glad I could help, man, on that. I enjoyed that video. But the point is, like, it's the pathology. I just want to talk where this came from, where it's going, and why, like with Amara Le Negra when she brought it up. And I'm gonna tell you something, fellas, myself included, ain't a goddamn thing wrong with that woman now. That is a fine, tall drink of water. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And speaking of patriotism, as you can see in the title, like I said, we need to go ahead and, just like how we man caught it and woman caught, excuse me, the NFL, the same could be said about Super Bowl 52. And then moving right along with that, I'm gonna come back to Amara later. And on top of that, and I said earlier, with all these sexual allegations that was coming out, particularly in NFL, particularly like with former Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson, who said he's putting the team up, his team up for sale. And we all know that Diddy made some bones about wanting to purchase the Carolina Panthers. And he's supposed to be trying to get with Colin Kaepernick, trying to help do it as well as Steph Curry. We know the whole story with that. And at one time, I was like really gung-ho for it. Now, after sitting back and start looking at things from a 360-degree peripheral and start looking and reading between the lines, I refuse to support Diddy's so-called purchase of the Carolina Panthers. Let me explain why. Because many times a lot of us have said that the NFL, which I dub as the Negro Police League, is nothing more than just a nothing but a multi-billion-dollar plantation conglomerate. And when I say that, I'm just ain't talking about the league. I'm talking about their sponsors. I'm talking about any other corporation that's aligned with them. Yeah, but MC-led Egyptians as well as Moroccans, they don't like to be called black because, like I said, black is not a nationality nor a race. You know what I'm saying? Neither is white, because really when you look at it, it's status. And when I already broke down how black is a 500-year-old Germanic term, and you break it down in etymology, it breaks down. It said black actually means pale. And see what the European did, they turned around and they switched roles for political purposes. Because see, when it comes to black, the European is actually black. We're not. Because like they switched around calling themselves white and us black. And they did that not just for so-called, it was political purposes too, but it's also for status. You got to understand status. Because see, black means pale. Because when you look at white, case in point, I'm gonna get back to the NFL thing. You go fill out a job application, whether it's on paper or online. They're always gonna ask when it comes down to the section of race. Now, any of our people go and fill out the application or whatever like that, we always go check black. Me, I check white. Because you look at the definition after the hyphen. White, they ask him, relating to person or persons that are native to Europe, North Africa, and the so-called Middle East. Of what GPS map app to use? Is it on a mobile Shadow? I wouldn't use Google. You can use. I ain't gonna say Google Maps. You can use, if it's on a mobile, you can probably use Days if you're in your car, but you can also use Here Maps too. Here We Go Maps. I'm sorry. Yeah. Exactly, Craig. Exactly. Because when you go on the court and you saying you black, I'm saying like that. Black has no standing in law. Neither does Negro, colored, not even African American. Because number one, how can you be for two continents? You know. And see, like what Victor saying when he found out that Egyptians and Moroccans, they don't like to be called black because they're not black. look up here. This is what I want everybody to do. If you got your mobile, whether you got Android or you got iOS, go to your app store and download 1828 Webster's Dictionary. You download that and type in and look up American. If you look up American, it will say this. What you should say, well, you know, like I always tell people to proclaim nationality. You know, we're not black, Craig, Cap. We're Moors, Moorish Americans. You just got to make sure you're standing on your square. There's plenty of YouTube videos where I got brothers who are Moors. They went into the courtroom. In fact, it's one that's on there now, where you know the brother in there, he's wearing his fez, and he had the judge shook because a lot of these judges are Masons and stuff, so they know how to come at that. Or better yet, just type in Taj Tariq Bey, and you can see how they go when it comes down to the civics of when it comes to the courtroom. Hold on one second. Let me show you the definition of the term of the word American. You know, because see, the crackers will go ahead and tell you that they discovered America. It was nobody that was inhabited in here, and we all know that's a lie. Here's the definition: American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Okay? So the next time that you had that so-called white guy or woman talking about saying, oh, I'm an American, USA and all that, I said, no, you're not. You may have been born on this continent, but you're not descendant of American. Your family descended from over there in Western Europe and stuff like that, from Poland, from Italy, from France, Serbia, England, Ireland, things like that. Ireland, which was once part of the Moorish Empire as well. What, Sister Wiseman? Yeah, this is why I spend my time and stuff ordering books. The definition of white in Webster's. Let me look that up. I'm gonna get that for you right now. I got my thing right there. Cap, Craig, I got that right beside me too. You know, and I'm gonna do more video. I'm gonna do some videos on it, spitting terms out of the Black Law's dictionary that a lot of people don't even know. No, I got the 5th edition. I already got a 4th edition on the way too. Now, anybody on here that wants to get that book, get the book Black's Law Dictionary, make sure you get the 4th edition. You know what I'm saying? You can go to eBay. They got them all over the place over there. If you can find a 3rd edition, get that too. But I'm gonna warn you, with that 3rd edition, you're gonna pay a couple of C notes. I mean notes. I mean like $200, a couple hundred notes. I don't call them dollars no more. I call them notes. Oh, okay, Craig, you know what's up. You got the 4th edition. Okay, let me see. White. Okay, white. Okay, Vic. Okay, cool. White saying like according to 1828 Noah Webster's dictionary, it means like being in the color of pure snow, snowy, not dark, as white paper or white skin. Now, I'm looking at the term white and it's got the A after it. A standard for adjective. It doesn't identify a person. Okay, and the other definitions also say that too. Like white, pale, destitute of colors in the cheek or of the ting of blood color, as white with fear. Third definition, having the color of purity, pure, clean, free from spots, as white rob innocence. First thing first, no, that's the doggone fire alarms. I apologize with that. I apologize. That so just try to tune it out, you know. Exactly, MC Lit. They describe us as aboriginals with afros, of course. It's like our hairstyle. That's that's part of us. That's who we are. But nowhere in the Northwestern dictionary where it say white is referring to person or person being of European descent. Okay, yeah, the true slaves, slave Slavics. Yeah, because slave comes from the word Slav. You know, as in i.e. Yugoslavia, Czechoslovakia, things like that. These were the same people the Moors had in slavery. Like I have pictures of it on my Instagram page. Y'all need to go there and check that out. Um, where you have European women sold into harems to wealthy Moors because the fact of the matter, you know what I'm saying, because the European was civilized like this, but it was mostly like servitude, not the slavery that you see here. That was here, because that was a debt they had to pay to the Moors anyway. Yeah, well, it's like what Prophet Drew Ali say, man, study, study, study. That's what most of my time, man, be like. If I'm not at work, I mostly got my head in the books and stuff like that. Try to continue to build my library up and build some other stuff up too, because this will bring us a lot more closer. That and prove more and more that we're not that we didn't come over here on slave ships. We're not the quote unquote second class citizens as they want to label us as. And you got these stupid scientists. 1 p.m. Eastern Thursday, I will be there. I will make my effort to be there. Like Charles Darwin and these other so-called the European imperialists who make these lies up about indigenous people. The conscious woke people. You talking about the jokers in the House of Consciousness or the conscious community that still get out here preaching, talking about Black Power and Pan Africanism and they saying that they're African and all that other stuff. Okay, now it's gonna start to get good. Tanner Does Tech in the house. What up? Now we can get down to some nitty gritty on top of that. Now, two things there like that, because I got my brother Tanner up in there. In case y'all don't know, he happens to be Hebrew Israelite and stuff, and he can share some of the light what I just said about when it comes down to why we don't like using the term Black, Negro, and colored, and why we should never refer to ourselves as that as far as nationality or race. Now, when you look up the term race means to shoot out. Okay, and let's be honest with you, to shoot out, race, not racist, because we're part of only one race, and that's the human race. It's crackers that go ahead and want to divvy up and say races, the white race, the Black race, the Hispanic race, and the Asian, furthermore means to keep you subjugated. And we're supposed to be part of the human race. Okay? And when it comes down to that European, ain't nothing human about them, because they got the DNA of that of a primate. Case in point, troglodyte Niger. That's where when they came out of the Caucasus Mountains, they derived from those apes, from the chimpanzees, rhesus monkeys. You know, you could put a picture of a rhesus monkey next to Russian President Vladimir Putin, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because in order for to survive on this plane, especially when you're dealing with the sun, dealing with Ra, you have to be of a hue, Hue, like Tano is saying in there. See, these jokers can't. These pinks, they can't survive in that. And see, like when it come down to black, like I told you, it's a 500-year-old dramatic term. It's a 500-year-old dramatic term. And then if you break it down etymology wise, black really means pale. Like take one day to everybody go to the beach and you see the Europeans trying to sunbathe and or trying to get a quote unquote tan. See how that sun affect them. And you see what they turn into. But let me get back on with the why I'm not supporting Diddy and the purchase of the Carolina Panthers because and it's going to relate to this too because like with when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1865, you do know that under those brands of Negro, colored, black, whatever, and stuff, that's supposed to be set. They taught us in school, and they teaching our babies in school that that's what sets you free. It didn't. All that was emancipation. Let me look that up. I got my Black's Law Dictionary here. Hold on a second. Now, when you talk about emancipation, Somewhere. Okay, I'm here. Yeah, apologies for that. We had a little power outage because somebody who didn't know what the hell they were doing. So I apologize for that. He turned off the power switch. Now everything had to be reset. Okay, well, where was I? I was looking at the term emancipation. I got Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition here. Emancipation basically means the act by which one who was unfree or under the power and control of another is rendered free or set at liberty and made his own master. Now, it also says further down, complete emancipation is entire surrender or care, custody, and earnings of child, as well as renunciation of parental duties. Now, and a partial emancipation frees the child for only a part of the period of minority. Part of the period of minority. Yes, I'm right here. I'm right here. Can anybody hear me? Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah, I'm still on. So what's the problem? All right, can anybody hear me out there? Oh, okay, you can hear me, Chief? Okay, cool. But look at the term like emancipation. Like I go back to what I said about Emancipation Proclamation. That there was a transfer of ownership. We went from that. Our people went from that, and then under still the same thing under the term Negro, colored, and black. They turned right around, and that's when they instituted the 14th Amendment. Say we bound by the 14th Amendment. As long as you in those terms, that's what it's going to end up being like. That's what it's going to end up being like. But now, that's one of the reasons why they want to tell you this is why they killed Lincoln and stuff like that. We all know why they killed Lincoln, because Lincoln was going to end the Federal Reserve. He was going to get rid of all of that stuff. And the Knights of the Golden Circle made sure that didn't happen. You know, we know John Wilkes Booth was part of the Golden Circle, and we all know the history when it comes down to that. If y'all still want to think that Abraham Lincoln was a Caucasian, when in truth and actuality, he was basically a Moor. But let me get on to this about when it comes down to the Super Bowl, like, and see, that's when it comes down to this about with Diddy buying the Carolina Panthers, it's still gonna be the same shit. Just because you got somebody with a quote unquote black face owning the team doesn't necessarily gonna mean the conditions gonna be better. Because you gotta understand, Diddy is in bed with these guys. He's in bed with the whitey staff. So is Jay-Z. And yes, I did see that interview that he had with Van Jones, which they were talking about next to nothing. I see Jay-Z, he's starting to let his hair grow out too. And that's one of the reasons, like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and I support that about them wanting to buy the Carolina Panthers, because that's, all this money they got. All that money they got, and they couldn't start their own league or something like that. Yeah, Chad. Yeah, that interview Jay-Z had with Van Jones, yeah, that was weak as hell anyway, because Jay-Z just goes to show that he doesn't care nothing about us, about none. Yeah, he may go ahead and do that little documentary that was what got the approval of Harvey Weinstein about with Trayvon Martin. That's supposed to come out sometime early this year. But that's basically about it. And my other problem that I had with Jay-Z recently is like, okay, you getting into a Twitter beef with Donald Trump, the master Twitter troll. But during the 2016 election, once you won throwing a concert, him and Beyonce was throwing a concert for Hillary Clinton. The same woman who in 1992 referred to black boys as super predators, and is also the mastermind behind the 3 strikes law that led to the incarceration over 100,000 young brothers and sisters. Just like when somebody at work was trying to convince me during that time, we should go ahead and vote for Hillary and all that over Trump like that. How about we vote for neither one of them? That's what I said. So the hell with Jay-Z, and yeah, even to a degree, the hell with Beyonce. But then again, Beyonce, I can't really fault her, because you know what? She's just going along with whatever Jay-Z does to get one. Yeah. Strom Thurmond, yeah, my idol Hillary. Yeah, the same Strom Thurmond who basically had a biracial daughter during his time when he was alive, and he kept that a secret until he passed away, and then she came out and explained the story. So I know about Strom Thurmond and stuff like that too. Yeah, Craig, Gay-Z, man. Gay-Z. And, like I said, after watching it for 10 minutes with him sitting there with Van Jones, I just say, like, I turn the thing off. Because guess what? I'm an avid master student, avid researching student of the ways of the late, great Tupac Shakur. And Pac warned everybody 20 years ago about them 2 fools. Okay? About Jay-Z and Diddy or P. Diddy or Puffy or Puff Daddy or whatever the hell he wants to call himself today and tomorrow. And, like I said, because Diddy going and buying the Carolina Panthers, that's just going to dilute right back to slavery, and it's going to still keep that. It's still just going to keep the industry going of exploiting $40 million slaves. That's all it is. Kaepernick was just an exception. And as for Jay-Z, yeah, Jay-Z been an informant for years. Because let me take y'all back in case anybody don't know. It was at one time, back I say in the early 2000s or whatever, that Suge Knight, one of my favorites, damn right, I like Suge, damn that. Irv Gotti, who also I know personally, and Jay Prince, Rap-A-Lot Records. Them three brothers were going to start their own distribution company, which was going to call JKG or something, J Knight Gotti Distribution, because geographically, that's it would corner the entire industry. Suge had the West as far as California, Oregon, Washington State, and so on and so forth, as well as outside Nevada, Arizona, whatever. Okay. Irv Gotti had the East Coast, the entire Northeast, New York, Jersey, all the way down to right here in my home territory of Florida. And Jay Prince had the South, also my territory, as well as Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma. And they would have cornered that, control their own thing. But here you got Sean Carter, Jay-Z, decided to go ahead and run to the elites and tell them what was going on. Because see, the elites of the music industry is like Lihor Cohen and Rick Rubin, all these other crackers who try to get out here and trying to front as being Jews, because Lihor Cohen is Israeli who got connections with Mossad. People don't know that. And same thing with some of these other jokers. Jimmy Iovine too is another one. And then look what happened. Simultaneously, you had the Feds raid Death Row Records. Feds raided Murder Inc. And also the same time, they did the same thing with Rap-A-Lot. And what they reward Jay-Z with? They gave him the 40/40 Club and some other juicy little tidbits. So excuse the hell out of me. Yeah, Lyle Cohen is a Khazar. Yeah, I had to deal with some of them fuckers last night. Had to put one in check, for real. Khazar meaning Khazarians. It's not a real Jew. We already know Khazarians and them Akhenazis and stuff like that. A bunch of fucking penis-sucking pedophiles. That's all they are. But when I say penis-sucking, I mean like when they baby born and they get them so-called baptized, they suck the penis of the baby. If it's a boy, they suck the penis. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So excuse the hell out of me because I never liked that Joe Camel looking mother sucker in Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z, we haven't forgotten. But now, exactly, at the brisk. That's a satanic practice, right? Exactly. And see, a lot of them people, man, they Satanists anyway. That's why when you probably hear Anglo-Saxon who can't stand them refer to their places to synagogue. The synagogues of Satan, the house of Satan, synagogue of Satan. And down here, they're over here like in Miami Beach, at Aventura. And there's plenty of pictures that's circulating online of them doing that. So they can't hide the shit. But then they want to turn around here and they lied in the history books. And this is one video where I caught a lot of flack from, but guess what? I still stand by what the hell I said. Then on top of that, then they wonder why Adolf Hitler did what he did. And me and MC Lit, as well as Tanner, we all agreed to this, that Hitler was framed. Okay? All Adolf Hitler was trying to do was to try to protect his homeland from these fuckers, from the Jews, from the Freemasons, from the quote unquote Illuminati. Not the Illuminati, what everybody else think, like the, with the Baphomet and all that other shit like that. Which Baphomet is not even nothing evil. That's, if you listen to some of these old RBG niggas or idiots like Sarah Sucker City and Sonetta and all the rest of these other clowns and all that who don't do their homework. The Baphomet, that's a fertility god, man. Because Hitler said that right in his autobiography, when he was on his deathbed, that soon like this, he's gonna know the world that he was right, because he was he fought tooth and nail to keep them motherfuckers out of there. Because guess what? Those motherfuckers were kicked out of every other country like that, and he saw firsthand how they heavily was taxing German natives, and Hitler had enough of the asses. Because he said that they gonna go ahead and they gonna conquer America, and once they do, and they already done that. They're doing it through newspaper, through media, through music, entertainment, same thing, and through all the other aspects, other arenas that Millie Fuller talks about. Law, labor, politics, religion, sex, war, education, economics, and that last one, entertainment. Okay, and Hitler said that happens, America will forever, the United States, put it that way, will ever be a slave to these Jews, these fake Jews, and because they're gonna try to conquer the world, and then worse than that, try to conquer God. Because Hitler said to one of his soldiers on his deathbed, "Do you realize what America has in their possession? They have the jewels of God. The jewels of God, they have the Negro, us." And further proof of that, why do you think Jesse Owens said what he said? He said that Hitler showed acknowledgement in him and more respect in him than Franklin Delano Roosevelt could. The U.S. president who Jesse Owens raced against Hitler's German men in the Olympics in 1939 for America, USA, and all this other stuff. But the head of state here at that time couldn't acknowledge Jesse Owens because he's seen in his wise, I ain't fucking with that nigger. But Adolf Hitler understand that. And here's something else. A lot of people need to look this up, and this is why I say study, do your research. They whitewashed Hitler, right? Adolf Hitler don't look like that. Skin tone. Exactly, Tanner, exactly. Invited him to Germany over and over again. And then when you look at it right now, why you think brothers that be in the military or whatever like that, they get a lot of love over there in Germany? And here's something else. Let me bring it concurrent right now. And this is no way means the shades of me defending it. You realize that Donald Trump is also a German descent through his ancestry, through his father and his grandfather. And do they have little racist type stuff like that. Well, we'll leave that like that for later, but that's just a little food for thought. Because like in Germany, I'm saying like that, you have Moors also in Germany too. You go to the museums now, you see a lot of Moorish statues there. You see the coat of arms there. You see all that there. Because some of our people are still like, I had one guy on one of my things when I said me saying that Erykah Badu was right about, defending Hitler. He got out there and say, fuck Hitler. Hitler killed Africans and all that stuff like that. But I said, look, Hitler also had brother, quote unquote, Africans enlisted in his army too as well. That people from very different ethnicities came there, and he also granted them had the right to practice their own faith, their own religion. Y'all seen the picture I put up there in that video of the Afro-German boy in 1939? Shoot, if you like I said, we're going back and forth. I told him, if anything, shoot, you need to be talking about that to Leopold, who killed about several 100,000 Congolese when he invaded over there in the Congo. Oh, but then again, y'all, it's a selective argument. Okay, I get that. You want to be selective about it, because some people sometimes get on my nerve with that. You can have the hottest shit in technology, and then on top of that, you don't use it to its full capacity. Sometimes I think some people just don't need to have a smartphone or a tablet, or hell, they don't even need a PC. If you just gonna use it just to go on there and chat with your friends on Facebook and Instagram and all that other bull crap, or Twitter and all that junk, go get a damn flip phone. And let me explain something to you too. The swastika. Tanner can tell you this. A lot of people can tell you this. Everything that you see the neo-Nazis have, Aryan Brotherhood, the Ku Klux Klan, all that happens to be our shit. Swastika basically means that's a symbol of peace and harmony. Yes, intellect, I know, it is a Buddhist symbol, which originated like in India and Africa. We're really in Africa before the Great Divide and stuff. But what happened, you have the Indo-European and Mongoloids and Aryans, which aren't free white people, by the way. That's in law too. Craig J can tell you that. Who took the symbol, turned it on its axis, and corrupted it. So when you see the idiots from the alt-right, or like Richard Spencer and the rest of these other fools that throw it up like that, knowing how they screwed it up. And I'm gonna tell you like how it's not really that serious when you look at it. I saw a picture, and I think I saved it. I might post it up, with neo-Nazis standing not side by, I think standing side by side or in front of some of the members from the Nation of Islam. And if you look into my video, which is two-part title, that they lied to you, you seen like Nazi soldiers wearing fezzes, same headdress that I got, that the Moors wear. And you see one of them reading a pamphlet saying Islam and Judaism or something, Judaism or something like that. I can't remember can't recall the last word right now. But nonetheless, it's the pictures of that. And then one of the pictures, which I jokingly said that was Vladimir Putin, and that's like over 60-something years ago. But unfortunately, some punk ass troll by the name of, I ain't gonna mention their name, took it personal. Exactly. But when he talked about racial purity intellect, he was talking about race, and in the definition of race, etymology wise, is mean to shoot out, because talking about human race. And like you heard me say before you even came back on, that he also allowed people of other different ethnicities, whatever their religious beliefs or whatever was, he allowed them to practice it in their own privacy and not to be bothered by anybody. That was their right. You know, all you got to do, like I say, go to my Instagram page, which is Archangel99. I just pull it up in here. And you'll see the picture right there. But yet, though, we were lied to believe that Adolf Hitler was racist. Adolf Hitler is the face of white supremacy. Adolf Hitler was this and that. Even when I went to go see the movie Red Tails, the one George Lucas financed, where you had all black cast, you know, Terrence Howard, Cuba Gooding Jr., yes, Nate Parker was in there. My boy was in there, you know. That was that all about. But he's supposed to be racist, right? So when you have some of these Afrocentric clowns that be running with Sonetta, them, the House of Conscience dudes, like with I seen with SETI Punk behind.
Midplace God will not find.
Sorry about that, folks. And, in other words, the strong should strong survive. Well, shit. Why do you think he said? Why do you think he said that when it came down to us, Black Ranger, what's good, baby? What's going on? Why do you think he said that when it came down to us, that we were superior in as far as in strength, athleticism, genetics, so on and so forth? I mean, like that. So our people need to start going ahead and really start to go ahead and use critical thinking, which we're not using, because see, they put all this propaganda and crap out to have us thinking emotionally. Get the emotions aside and start dealing with reality, because a lot of this stuff is not racist or racism, which is having to be man-made, you know, manufactured just to keep you going or whatever, like so on and so forth. And see, and get this, whether you knew it or not, the original Black Panthers were going that same route too. You know, they were going to go the same route as far as like law and so on and so forth like that. But due to the policy enforcers constantly attacking them, along with the FBI and all that stuff, that kept them defending themselves and less on that. And, you know, a lot of this stuff got messed up. But the truth be told, like, you know, just to answer that person, look, I'm gonna make it clear. That's the thing, intellect, that Tanner just told you. They're not, those are fake Jews. Those are Khazars and Akazians. That's all it is. They're not the real Jews. Hitler said it himself that the real Jews happen to be us. So, you know, let's just clear that up. Victimized Jews, those are not real Jews. You know what I'm saying? You see them fuckers going here. You see them fuckers going out here wearing their yarmulkes. I call them small hats. And they doing all this, like, you know, especially if you work in the hospitality industry, where every Friday and Saturday they want you to press the elevator, or you know, they cannot use nothing electronically or whatever like that. It's stupid stuff. They lying like that to the whole world. And on top of that, let me explain something else to you too. Do not be surprised that they also were the parts responsible for 9/11, and they turned around and they blamed it on Muslims. And then on top of that, look what you got going on now under this era right now. So when I listen, and anybody know I listen a lot to the Black Authority. I listen to Professor Black Truth. When they talk about America is becoming, you know, Nazi land and all this other stuff like that. Well, maybe it's what's needed anyway, you know, in regards to Donald Trump and so on and so forth. Because you know what? I got no qualms about it. Because the reason why, I'd rather have my racists out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Open, direct, straight like Hennessy with no chaser. So I'm saying like that. Again, I got no qualms about it. I got no qualms about it whatsoever. Because like I said, like when I seen that and researched that, like it just stuck right there with me with that intellect. You know what I'm saying? That I heard too. But you also heard me say it too, intellect. And you also heard me say it too that they whitewashed Hitler. When I mean whitewashed, I mean he didn't look like how he's supposed to look now. Same way they did Abraham Lincoln. And they had the real look of Abraham Lincoln. Well, nobody didn't say nothing about ethnicity because look, that just goes. That's we going around in circles when it comes down to this. No one has said nothing about ethnicity because you already heard me say it. That how he had people of different ethnicities enlisted in his army. Okay, and of course we're talking about people of different ethnicities, brothers and sisters also living though there in Germany at that time. Now, we did some more digging, which I always continue to do. We're probably gonna go ahead and find some more things that hasn't been brought to light. Because, like I said, we are in the age of Aquarius. So now the age of illusions is over. See, these jokers right now who's sitting up top, the elites, they could go ahead and they can't hide the shit no more. This is why they want to go ahead and did that bullshit with the net neutrality thing. You know what I'm saying? So that way, because we were finding too much stuff. They only want to control what they want us to see, what they want us to see, not what we want to see or want to find out of or whatever. But you know, that junk ain't lasting long, no way. But one thing that definitely I know the sisters, y'all still here in the room, Sister Wiseman and all them, is also another thing that's also on the rise too, and in a bad way. No, Israel was man-made, my brother. Israel was man-made. But the one thing I said, and this shit is kind of ridiculous now. I'm gonna tell you how bad it's starting to get. You're looking at you heard about the sex bots. Sex bots are on the rise. And again, this has come as no surprise to me either. Because, you know, after the movie like iRobot and all this other stuff like this, that I said it's going to be sooner or later, but, you know, this is like maybe 20, 30 years they've been doing this. Going to go ahead and replace us with automatons and stuff. So automatons meaning robots that are like basically full-fledged human. And these sex bots are the new things now. Because reason why, just the other day, I heard conversations of guys talking about saying how they paying this crazy amount of money for sex bots. You know, they want one with big breasts. They want one. They want one with big ass and all this other stuff. They even not making them now where they could be able to have the ability to gag. And I'm not going to go any further into that, but it needs to be heard. My brother Red Pill was just talking about this about a couple hours ago on UGR with Brother Rich. And yeah, this is nothing new. I seen this coming for a while because okay, Shadow, okay. Black Ranger, of course they could be hacked. The turn on the person used to kill them. That's the thing. Because those sex bots weigh about that much, between 200 to 300 pounds. But see, any dude, or shoot, they probably gonna make a sex bot for women too, because they be doing these surveys, they do all this stuff like that because, like, ladies, they basically telling sisters that, you know, y'all about to be replaced. See, this cracker is already making stuff to try to go ahead and replace y'all, even to the point of now where they making a sex bot to be able to have the ability to procreate, and that shit's crazy. They gonna have the ability to procreate. I'm gonna tell you, this is intellect. I know. And no, I don't tune in the Pornhub. Okay. All right, Tanner, you back? Okay, cool. I know they existed for a while, but this is not for you. This is for people that don't know who's in the know. So just chillax for a minute. Yeah, he's starting to piss me off. You and me both. But this is the thing though, and how it's gonna try to play because, like, look, this is why you see movies like Avengers, The Age of Ultron, or a lot of this other stuff. Well, Black Ranger, like when you talking about spirituality, you have to first start off with spirit because spirit is basically mean the breath, learning to breathe. When you breathing, that's the spirit right there. That should be your religion right there. Is breathing, as was taught by me by my master teacher, Phil Valentine, Dr. Phil Valentine. But this whole thing is just going to start to get crazy. But see, this is a thing like with a lot of ladies, because they know for a fact that that a lot of y'all like to get there and get you already like to get prophylactics and plastics that are battery operated and stick it up in your universe and and stuff like that. Whether it's the one with the batteries or with the ones that that go ahead and stimulate that and goes right up in there and stuff. So now they decide to go ahead and they coming out with this. Nothing new. You know. I know they be over there on Pornhub. I know they be over there on these other porn sites and stuff like that. That's nothing new. That's nothing new. But for the ones that don't know and don't want to think that this ain't happening, it's actually happening. The movies tell you this all the time. It's a lot of things, certain science that tells you this all the time. That pretty soon it's gonna come like this. That if you don't stand up right now and and stop acting like you're an artificial person and start being a natural person, as far as status, as far as everything, this is what it's going to end up being like the next 20 or 30, 40 years from now. You won't be surprised. A person is going to be automatons, maybe delivering mail to your house. It's going to be automatons that's going to be driving city buses, that's going to operate garbage trucks, that probably going to be probably going to your restaurant, be cooking up your order. These sort of things like that. In the military, they even making robot animals. They already got a robot dog, military dog. They also got that for quote unquote law enforcement too. Excuse me. This is like the sick mind, and then you combine that, of course, with the AI, artificial intelligence. Now, now you got something there like this, because like you already got the AIs that's already on your smartphones, whether it's Siri, Cortana, Alexa, Bixby. I could go on and on. Google Now, all that. But when it comes down to these automatons, it's just going to be 100 times more evolved. That's why movies like not just iRobot. You could take it all the way back to RoboCop. You could always take it back to the old and the new one. You could take it back to shit. It's so many movies that's coming out on that. It's crazy. Terminator. Yeah, exactly. But that's already here too. And even on the cartoons, like the cartoon G.I. Joe, you know, especially with the 6-part episode, Arise, Serpentor, Arise. I found that very interesting. Sister Wiseman, they're already out with that right now. They've been out with that since the 1970s. But they doing it like on a mass scale to disperse crowds or protesting. All they got to do is just send like audio waves, sound waves or whatever, and that could trigger like a heart attack. It could trigger like a stroke, you know, cardiac arrest, you name it. And they doing that for crowd control. Hitler never did no shit like that. Yeah, but back what I was saying in G.I. Joe, Arise, Serpentor, Arise. You seen how it was with Cobra, how they came out with the how they using the bats standing for Battle Android Troopers. These were automatons that basically were Cobra's Cobra infantry troopers, because Cobra got tired of losing a lot of soldiers who came recruited, who they were recruiting and stuff like that. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's a G.I. Joe fan, just look at the helmet of that of Cobra Commander, and you can see they try to put that Nazism on through that, as well as they did with the Transformers first generation. So anyway, so the Battle Android Troopers, not only that they were disciplined and they were able to fight on the battlefield, they were also indestructible too. You could shoot an arm off, they still come. You could shoot their head off, they will still come. Like the Terminator. You had to go for their inward box and all that stuff. While at the same time, a lot of things were going on there in the G.I. Joe cartoons. You can go to kisscartoon.com and you can you can watch it yourself. Because what was Cobra trying to do at that time? Because, you know, Cobra just got fed up with Cobra Commander. So you had Destro, Dr. Mindbender, who created the bats in the first place. He's that mad scientist, the Charles Darwin of the group. And Destro. You had the twins too, Tomex and Zaymon. They had a secret meeting along with 3 other high-level Cobra officers. And they were going to go ahead and go on this mission to collect if they can't find, if they can't find themselves a new leader, they'll make one. So now you see, this is where the cloning the cloning process came from. This is where those ideas came from. This is where the ideal of sex bots and all that came from. You know, and what did they do? They had went all around the world. Miles DeAndre, what's up, bro? Welcome back. Went all around the world stealing DNA of history's supposedly conquerors, you know, one of which happened to be Napoleon Bonaparte. You know, I don't know what he conquered, because shit, somebody forgot to send to give Haiti the memo, because Haiti kicked their asses. You know, Napoleon, Julius Caesar, Attila the Hun, Rasputin, Vlad Tepes. That's Count Dracula to y'all. Even tried to get the DNA of Sun Tzu and all that stuff to create Serpentor. But here's the thing. You got the DNA of everybody to create him that was basically masculine. So where's the feminine part about him? Where's the feminine part about Serpentor? Yeah, one at a time in intellect. One at a time. You know, we're still dealing with G.I. Joe right now. And it's symbolically. Because they created Serpentor as being masculine and no feminine involved in them. And it's the same thing what these guys did with religion. You know, as far as like when it comes down to Allah, they wanted to be all masculine, when really Allah is feminine, because Allah come from the name Allah. It's just feminine. So you know you got to have femininity in there and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, you know, you guys got to get mad at me if I say this, or you probably be denial that a lot of us were mostly born female. We just have the appendage sticking outward. It's not racism. It's not no conspiracy. It's scientific and it's documented. But like Intellect was saying, Ghostbusters, very heavily symbolic too. Tie show about eradicating foreign bodies with nuclear powered weaponry. Isn't that we got going on right now with Trump up here keep fucking with Kim Jong-un about, you know, calling him Little Rocket Man and all this other shit like that? And see, and it goes back like to the to the sex robots and so on and so forth. Transformers told you that. A lot of stuff going on in there. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Yes, I just got notifications. You know, so when I see the sex box things coming out, I said, yeah, you know, it's just like you looking at basically, and now you even got people now that want to go ahead and get cybernetically implanted. They want to be part of that Winter Soldier program and stuff like that. You know, have cybernetics attached as their appendages and stuff. It's crazy. It's very crazy. Hey, Intellect. Hey, it's nice to see you here, man. It's nice to see you. Well, nice to meet you, first of all. But yeah, man, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, my brother, and we definitely gonna catch up. You know, it's nice to bring like-minded people up in here and stuff like this. And speaking of which, myself, I gotta bounce out of here in a few years because I got like 20-something minutes, and then I gotta get out of here. But we definitely gonna catch up as I try to get out here and put some more videos out or something like that. But let's get on top of this with the come down to the Super Bowl. Everybody asks me if I'm going to watch it. I say, look, y'all know full well I'm not watching the NFL. These are friends of mine, like right here, down here in Miami, you know. And I say, no, I'm not watching. For what? Shoot. I'm kind of glad. I'm glad the NFL has lost plenty of money. I'm glad the NFL is losing ratings. I'm glad that their sponsors are not making money. And then now all of a sudden you got Vince McMahon. He's coming out with the XFL. I supposedly next year or some shit. But as I reported, that a woman came out from years ago and said, you know, Vince McMahon sexually harassed her, and I still laugh at this one, in a tanning booth. But then again, it's no surprise with me with Vince McMahon. Because, you know, like I say, I grew up watching wrestling and stuff like that. You know, me and my dad, you know, all of us was a wrestling aficionados. It was just like entertainment for us, which it is. And the way how Vince McMahon in the past, and you could catch a lot of it on YouTube, during the 90s, during the Attitude Era, you know, with Stone Cold Steve Austin coming there, whooping ass, stunning the hell out of everybody, then grabbing a couple of Budweisers and pouring it down his throat. He wasn't drinking it. He was just pouring that shit in there. Personally, I thought that was water, but then again, what do I know? The Triple H, The Rock, DX, the Nation of Domination. I think that was my favorite clique right there, because, you know, you had like an Afrocentric Black Panther type thing going, led of course by Farouk, Mark Henry, D'Lo Brown, Savio Vega, The Rock, so on and so forth. You know, I thought that was pretty good. But his little actions he had with some of the women wrestlers or whatever that was on there, like, yeah, Miles, you know I'm not forget about the dead man. You looking at a #1 Undertaker fan here. Undertaker was there in the early 1990s, man, taking names and kicking ass. Shit. Especially how he locked the Ultimate Warrior, may he rest his soul, into the coffin. Shoot. Oh, I'm going back. And same with Kane too. Same with Kane too. But and then, you know, like I said, but with Vince, yeah, you know, the situation he had like with Trish Stratus, Tori Wilson, Sable. You see, a lot of those had a lot. One thing they had a lot in common. He has an affinity, and I guarantee you, this woman that accusing him of that, I guarantee you that the woman happens to be Caucasian, blonde hair, blue eyes. I guarantee you that. Okay, cool, LaShawn. Cool. Yeah, I guarantee you, like with that. But now here's my problem, like with him in the XFL. According to Black Reality TV, I watched his video. I was a big supporter, and I still like the XFL because, you know, they brought football back the way I grew up watching football. Smash Mouth. Um, he said he wants to start it. He said under couple stipulations I have a problem with. He doesn't want nobody taking a knee for the national anthem, and the people that come there can't have a criminal record. And what kind of BS is that? And let's keep in mind, Vince McMahon is also buddy-buddy with Donald Trump. Otherwise, why do you think Trump had hosted WrestleMania 2 at his Trump Palace down in Atlantic City? And then here's Trump again in WrestleMania 24. But I'm kind of glad all this is happening, though. I'm kind of glad all this is happening. Kind of glad a lot of this is happening, though. You know, with the Harvey Weinstein Pandora box that's been opened about these sick ass Caucasian males. Yeah, certain people with criminal records, of course. And see, that goes back to the expose being exposing about like how WWE or WWF, whatever they want to call themselves, is like they're little races. I mean, yes, you may have brothers and sisters there, wrestlers and stuff like that. But look, for example, look at the gimmick that the New Day performs. You know, they come out there twerking, gyrating their hips and all that. You know, I wouldn't say cooning, but in a kind of way, you know, and they coming out with pancakes and all this other stuff like that. I'm not even going to mention the ladies, the sisters like Sasha Banks and Naomi, who's also a Florida native too. She's from Orlando, right, by the way, and she used to dance, be one of Flo Rida's dancers for Flo Rida. Flo Rida I know personally, so on and so forth. But now when it comes to the championships, yeah, Naomi may have been a two-time WWE women's champ, I think. Yeah, and over on SmackDown or whatever. But when was the last time that you ever seen anybody, brother, sister, holding the WWE championship title? With the exception of The Rock, you know. But you ask any other person that say, no, Rock is Samoan, he ain't black. How he ain't Samoan? How he ain't black? Shit, his father's Rocky Johnson. And on top of that, anybody that's from the Pacific Islands and all that stuff, they happen to have African heritage right there of Samoa and anywhere else. Shoot. You look at the Usos, the sons of Rikishi, Roman Reigns' cousins. Usos got the same Afrocentric features just like me and you. Yeah, LaShawn, that's the thing they say when they want to come down to the Rock. See, white folks want to try to claim the Rock as their own and stuff like that. But it's like, look like this. Look, man. The Rock is like, he's a brother. It doesn't matter because I'm saying the melanin is strong over there with him. Now, do I question sometimes of him trying to fit in? Well, people over there, yeah, I do, to a degree. But I sometimes also say, let's give him a chance to see what happens, whatever. You know. And on top of that, if they weren't black, I mean, look at Jay Uso. Jay or is it Jimmy? They married to Naomi. Jimmy and Jay, them cats act like that they the cats that they from around the hood, you know. So that's another thing. But this thing with Vince McMahon doing, like, you know, XFL, they can get man-carded too. So who could care less about them? You only want to block out people from having an opportunity, and that's the NFL's never did that. But then again, I believe they started to do that anyway, because look at the NFL. Why do you think they hated Al Davis? And I believe they had something with a hand in killing him, because Al Davis always got along with a lot of the black players that's there in the NFL. And they're just not Al Davis either. Buddy Ryan was the same way. LaShawn, you from Chicago, you know. Like when he was defensive coordinator for the Bears back during the 80s, and like I said, I was playing football, I would have loved to play for Buddy Ryan. Because most of the players that he recruited personally were brothers. Because he knew that's what he needed in order to make his defense work. And that's the thing, and it really showed when he came to Philadelphia. He had a hand recruiting Jerome Brown, Reggie White, Mike Pitts, Seth Joyner, Clyde Simmons. Same thing he's doing with Chicago, with Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, Otis Wilson, my man Otis, number 55, Wilbur Marshall, Florida born and bred, straight out of Titusville. Dave Durison, Mike Richardson. Dave Durison, may he rest in peace. It's just a lot of them. Because like I said, like he knew what he had, and and he knew these brothers would go ahead and they were gonna get it done. But if he felt like you were fucking up, he'll let you know too. Even with Philly, Andre Waters, man, he rest in paradise. Another Florida born and bred dude, straight out of Pahokee. But he just knew where to go get him. And this is the thing about, same thing with NFL, XFL. The reason why they hated Al Davis so much, a lot of people don't realize this, a lot of the Raiders recruited ex-cons to play for them, because where it said that in the NFL contract bargaining agreement that, it doesn't matter if that person has a criminal record. If that was the case, Joe Mixon wouldn't be in the NFL right now. And although I applaud Joe Mixon for cold cocking that bitch, for putting her hands on him and shit, but that bitch since then been trying to ruin that man's career. Which is another lesson, brothers. Stay y'all ass away from these Beckys, man. They're trying to use them to set y'all up for failure. But I only got like a few minutes to throw myself on top of this. On a live stream. So I got to put some videos out tonight. But I'm gonna go ahead then. I'm gonna sign off real quick, everybody. First thing first, let me thank LaShawn, Cap PY2, Intellect 123, everybody that came through, Victor Lyons, Diva Queen Lopez, Craig J, and for coming through. So I'm gonna go ahead. Tanner does tech. Yeah, I'm out of here, man, because I gotta run to take care of some business at the other spot. Take care of that and get that done. So with that said, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sign off real quick with peace, shalom, hotep, everybody, blessings, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. No more talk, peace and love. Wow.